whenever you're building something, you actually choose like a entry point that you think is easy to penetrate and to scale to demonstrate that something actually works before you work out to your larger mission. Now, when people I talk to people at parties and they say, "What do you do?" I could say I have a hormone optimization company that sells kits and provides testosterone to people. What I actually say I do is I say I help men have confidence as they age, right? And that generally is actually what we do at the end of the day. I don't sell a bunch of medications. I give people momentum in their life so they can take momentum and create change and figure out how to be happy. And I would say like the other very real undertone of the company that's beginning to come out, I believe we're about the same age, right? And I bet you a lot of our listeners are men or women. I think that we will live until we're 110 or 120. I almost think it is a foregone conclusion. I don't think it's any woo woo. I watched my father live an additional 20 years on medical advances when he should have passed away when he was 45 or 50, right? And so I think so many things are happening underneath our feet right now that we're not even aware of it because by the time we get there, it'll just have happened. And so I think if you take your mind and you begin assuming, right, I'm 40, I'll live until let's even say 110. That means I'll have 60 really good years of life ahead of me. Forget about the 10 really crappy years. And what it forces you to do is you fundamentally take the arc of your life that your parents probably had, you stretch it out and you redefine it. And I think a lot of people don't realize that's the world we're living in. So when I meet a 60-year-old and they're like, "Oh God, I feel so tired. I'm going to retire." And I was like, "Why? Like 60 is super young right now, right?" And and when you can make the shift, it's almost like being given a gift. And what I mean by that is at the age of 40 now, right? I feel like I'm in my 20s. I feel like I, because I believe I'll live so much longer, it's almost like I'm 18 years old with maybe the experience, the bank account of a 40-year-old, and I can sprint at life just as hard as I would when I was 20, except with a whole lot more direction. And so I think that the undertone is we help people have confidence as they age. We're going to be building this for women as well too. And what we're really trying to do is give you the playbook to live as long as you possibly can, but be as healthy and then more importantly, as happy, right? Because we went going back to that hope, that large piece of it is mindset. And so in large part, probably the life you live, probably the life I live, what we are doing is trying to figure out how to scale that for the everyday person that doesn't have access to maybe some of the doctors you and I have access to, or some of the tools we have access to. Because the reality is that you can actually do a lot of those things without spending a lot of money. And so that's generally the way I describe it to people. We give people confidence.